Hi, and welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about filler today, dermal filler, and I am going to discuss some of the fillers that are on the market in the United States and ones that we train on here at Pacific Northwest Aesthetics Academy. This is a completely biased opinion on some of these fillers, so please note that these are opinion-based things on some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. But also, I've been in this industry for 7 years, and I have my favorites and you may have yours, and I would love to hear some feedback in the comments about what you think about these different fillers that I'm going to highlight today. In this industry, I feel very strongly that we're always learning, especially because there's new products that are continually expanding on in this market. We keep getting more stuff, and we'll talk about the newest HA filler, hyaluronic acid dermal filler on the market in the US. And I expect more to enter the marketplace in the future and look forward to that because it just creates more variety and a more unique effect for our patients. And some of these fillers you might love and some of them you might not. And really, we're just waiting for the next great big thing. And luckily, we have a lot of those available now. The first dermal filler we're going to talk about is Restylane L. And Restylane L is made by Galderma, and it is a hyaluronic acid filler that can be easily reversed with hyaluronidase. For this reason, we use it during our basic injectable class when we go over treatment procedure for the nasolabial folds, the marionettes, and the lips. These areas are very forgiving. That's why we focus on them during class, and you can really discuss the basic techniques of filler injection, filler treatments. So inside of your Restylane package, you have 2 needles and 1 syringe, and you can see it clearly through our plastic covering there. So you get 1 syringe per box, and I use this everywhere. I love it in tear trough. It is literally the only dermal filler I will use in the tear trough area, and I'll use a cannula there. So that is Restylane L that I often refer to, if you've seen my other videos, as Restylane Classic. And it definitely is one of my favorites. Moving on from that, and in no particular order, we have Belotero Balance. Belotero Balance is made by Merz Pharmaceuticals, and it is more of how I describe it as a finely whipped filler. So it is really, really good in fine perioral lines. We can use it in the fine lines for around the eyes, the crow's feet that your neuromodulator doesn't address. We can even use it very, very, very superficially in the furrows of the brow. It is the only filler that I would use there, and I would place it very, very superficially. At PNAA, we treat the safest injections possible, and for that reason, we don't instruct, nor do we do on our daily practice, an HA filler other than Belotero in the furrows, and we do not advise doing liquid rhinoplasties, which are gaining in popularity in a lot of aesthetic practices. We feel that this area is just too dangerous, and we avoid dangerous procedures. We are committed to maintaining patient safety in our daily practice and also in how we instruct our students. Moving on to Versa, which is the newest HA filler on the market. Again, so far we've talked about 3 hyaluronic acid dermal fillers. All 3 of them are reversed with hyaluronidase. Versa is made by Prolenium. I use Versa everywhere except the tear trough. I really like it structurally. It can give really nice cheeks. It can give medial cheek as well as lateral cheek. I can use it in the lips. Really, you can put this anywhere. We don't do this more robust HA filler in the furrows of the brow. Going back to our Belotero, that's the only thing that we put there, and very, very superficially. But I do love Versa, and if you haven't experienced Versa yet in your practice, contact Prolenium and start giving it a try. The return on your investment is significant with Versa, and it gives your patients really beautiful results. So I encourage you all to give that a go. So moving on to Juvederm Ultra Plus XC, which is a really, really great HA filler to give you really nice, soft volume. Juvederm Ultra Plus XC is my go-to filler when I want to give somebody those really beautiful big lips. Juvederm Ultra Plus XC comes 2 syringes per container, per box. It is an allergen product. It is part of the Juvederm family. So there are many other products in the Juvederm family, just like there's many other products in the Restylane family. And if you haven't experienced the full lines from both of those companies, I encourage you to talk to your reps and get some samples, because you may love one over the other and it can really revolutionize your patient treatments. This is what Juvederm Ultra Plus XC looks like, very similar to many of the other HA dermal fillers on the market. And it comes 2 per container. Moving on to our mid-face volume, our HA filler that we have to use in that area is Voluma XC, made by Allergan. And it comes packaged very similarly to the others in the Juvederm family. And Voluma XC is that more robust filler that's going to give you much more of a structural component and that lift into the cheekbones that we really like. And it is packaged in this syringe, and it comes like this. And I really like the syringes that Allergan uses on all of their fillers. They are all very ergonomically, nicely designed. So they're very comfortable fitting into your hands, and they're easy to aspirate, and they're just really smooth and soft. Moving on to another mid-face filler that I especially love is Radiesse. Radiesse is very different from our other fillers and requires significant training before you start using this on your patients. And the reason for this is because Radiesse is calcium hydropeptide, and it is not easily reversible. In fact, it is not reversible in an emergency situation using hyaluronidase like our others are. So get proper training when starting to use Radiesse in your office, and know the way to address issues should they arise. I love Radiesse when doing cheeks, when doing angle of the jawline, when doing the mandible and chin. It's just an amazing, amazing product. Radiesse is also the only dermal filler that is FDA approved to stimulate collagen. We also use Radiesse in the hands to give more volume there, and it can also affect the texture in the hands as well. So I love using Radiesse with the cannula and really forming that bony structure. We lose bone as we age, and if you can recreate that in your patients, you can turn back the hands of time really, really well. The other thing about Radiesse is it looks quite different from our other HA fillers. They are gels, and they're clear gels. Radiesse is white. It looks like propofol for those of you who have spent significant time in the acute care setting. And to me, it looks like concrete. So when I think about where am I going to use Radiesse, I'm going to use this product in an area similar to where I want to recreate bony structure. We can put it right on the bone. It can stimulate more bone growth. It literally is my favorite product. I love it. But going back to proper training is key, because you can develop some significant complications with Radiesse. So you really, really, really want to be secure and know that you're getting a proper training with the Radiesse. And moving on, what I always cringe when I hear people call this next product a filler, because it's not. It's a biostimulator, and I'm talking about Sculptra Aesthetic. Sculptra Aesthetic is a Galderma product. It comes in a vial, and you do have to reconstitute it. What I love about Sculptra is it is such a natural, beautiful effect on your patients. It was first FDA approved in the United States for HIV patients experiencing lipoatrophy. So think about those types of patients and what they look like, and how that can roll over and affect your aesthetic patients. So sometimes I'll describe my perfect aesthetic patient that's a great candidate for Sculptra in that they look like a deflated balloon, or they look like a wrinkled raisin, and we can just basically re-inflate their face with Sculptra, and it's it takes effect over time. So you will do the injection of the Sculptra in the full face, or you can also focus only on cheeks or only on jawline. You can focus on specific areas, or you can do a general volumization with Sculptra. And initially your patient will see this increase in volume from the water that you reconstitute your product with. And it's important to let them know that typically they will return to their baseline volume in 24 hours. Now, looking ahead in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, the volume that their body produces in response to the Sculptra is significant and beautiful, and it can be quite nice. Another great thing about Sculptra is we're using it in areas, most specifically the buttock region, to give people more of a rounded buttocks. And it's just amazing, and I love Sculptra. And again, this is a product that you want to get proper training on. There are dilution methods that are different per area. The way that you inject it is different from your straight HA filler, and this is an advanced procedure. So I really encourage you to talk to your reps and go through their process for learning about Sculptra aesthetic, and then enlisting a trainer to come to your office, or you can come to our office and we can teach you how to do Sculptra aesthetic. With all of these products, what's key, what's most important is giving your patient a good consultation to figure out which product that you want to use, what effect they're going for, and what effect you can achieve. So setting those expectations is huge. In all of our training courses, we spend a large amount of time talking about the consultation and really applying the knowledge of the technicalities of the filler that you're going to use with your patient's desired results, and setting those expectations right up front. So our commitment to turning out aesthetic injectors who are safe and effective continues on a daily basis. And we hope that these are goals that you want to give to your patient base as well. So please leave comments or questions below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.